I, Jim Rohn, want to share something with you that changed my life forever. When I was 25 years old, I found myself broke, behind on my bills, and embarrassed to admit that despite working hard every single day, I had nothing to show for it. I remember standing in front of my creditors promising payments I couldn't make, watching my young family go without things they deserved, and feeling that crushing weight of financial failure. You see, I thought poverty was something that happened to other people, to those who didn't work hard enough or didn't care enough. But there I was, caring deeply, working tirelessly, and still failing miserably. The truth hit me like a thunderbolt one day when my mentor asked me a simple question that I'll never forget. He said, "Jim, let me see your bank account and I'll show you exactly what you've been choosing." I was offended at first. Choosing? I wasn't choosing to be poor. Or was I? That question haunted me for weeks until I finally understood what he meant. Every single day, through thousands of small decisions, I was actively choosing poverty without even realizing it. When I chose to sleep in instead of reading that book, when I chose to complain instead of learning, when I chose to spend instead of save, when I chose comfort over growth, I was voting for poverty with my actions. The shocking realization wasn't that I was poor by accident, but that I had been meticulously, consistently, and deliberately choosing poverty through my daily habits, and I didn't even know it. Before we continue, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications, because here we share ideas that can transform your life every single day. Give this video a like if it's already making you think, and tell me in the comments which part of this message resonates most with you. Your voice matters, and together we can grow with more clarity and purpose. Let me tell you what I discovered that transformed everything. Being rich or poor isn't about the economy, your boss, the government, or your circumstances. It's about a fundamental choice you make every morning when you wake up. I learned that wealth and poverty are not conditions imposed upon us. They are destinations we walk toward with every decision we make. Think about this carefully. Two people can grow up in the same neighborhood, attend the same schools, work at the same company, and yet one becomes wealthy, while the other remains poor. Why? Because one chooses the disciplines of wealth while the other chooses the ease of poverty. Yes, I said the ease of poverty, because staying poor is actually easier than becoming rich. It requires no planning, no discipline, no delayed gratification, no continuous learning. Poverty is the default setting of a life lived without intention. But here's what changed my perspective forever. The moment you understand that every financial condition in your life is a result of your choices, you reclaim the power to change it. I stopped seeing myself as a victim of circumstances and started seeing myself as the architect of my destiny. The economy didn't make me poor, my choices did. My boss didn't keep me broke, my habits did. The system wasn't against me, I was against myself. This shift in perspective is not just philosophical, it's practical and revolutionary. When you truly grasp that you're choosing your financial future right now, in this very moment, through the book you're reading or not reading, through the skills you're developing or ignoring, through the relationships you're building or neglecting, everything changes. Here's the principle that became the foundation of my transformation. You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you choose, and you choose with your daily actions, not your wishes. I call this the law of daily choice. Every single day you're making hundreds of micro choices that are either moving you toward wealth or toward poverty. There's no neutral ground, no standing still. You're either growing or dying, expanding or contracting, becoming more valuable or less valuable. When I understood this law, I realized that becoming wealthy wasn't about making one big decision. It was about making thousands of small decisions correctly, consistently, over time. The choice to be rich happens when you choose to read instead of watch television, when you choose to invest instead of consume, when you choose to learn from criticism instead of being offended by it, when you choose to take responsibility instead of making excuses. These choices seem insignificant in the moment, but they compound over time into either fortune or misfortune. I've watched this law work in thousands of lives, including my own. The millionaire chooses differently than the broke person, not in the big moments, but in the small, seemingly insignificant moments that make up a life. They choose to wake up earlier, to stay later, to learn more, to serve better. They choose discomfort today for comfort tomorrow, while most choose comfort today and guarantee discomfort tomorrow. This isn't about privilege or luck. It's about the accumulation of choices that anyone can make, regardless of their starting point. Let me show you how this principle of choosing wealth over poverty extends into every dimension of your existence. In time management, the wealthy person chooses to treat time as their most valuable asset, while the poor person chooses to kill time as if they had an infinite supply. I learned to ask myself, is what I'm doing right now moving me toward wealth or poverty? That question alone transformed how I spent my hours. In relationships, wealthy-minded people choose to surround themselves with those who challenge them to grow, while poverty-minded people choose relationships that allow them to stay comfortable in their mediocrity. I had to make the difficult choice to spend less time with people who were going nowhere and more time with people who were going somewhere. Your associations are telling the world and yourself where you're headed. In knowledge acquisition, every day you choose either to expand your mind or let it atrophy. The wealthy choose to invest in books, courses, seminars, mentors, while the poor choose to invest in entertainment and distractions. I discovered that formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. In emotional management, you choose whether to let your emotions control your decisions or to let your decisions control your emotions. The wealthy choose to feel grateful before they have everything. The poor choose to feel bitter about what they don't have. In health, you're choosing vitality or deterioration with every meal, every workout you do or skip. Wealth without health is meaningless, and those who choose to be truly rich understand that physical vitality is the foundation of financial vitality. Now let me paint you a picture of two lives lived side by side to show you the dramatic difference these choices make. Person A chooses wealth every day. They wake up at 5 a.m. while person B hits the snooze button. By 6 a.m., person A has already exercised, reviewed their goals, and planned their day while person B is still sleeping. Person A invests the first hour of their day in personal development. Person B invests their first hour checking social media and complaining about the news. Over a year, Person A has invested 365 hours in becoming better. Person B has invested 365 hours in staying bitter. Person A saves and invests 20% of their income, no matter what. Person B spends 105% of their income and wonders why they're always broke. After 10 years, Person A has built wealth that works for them. Person B is still working for money that never seems to be enough. Person A chooses to see problems as opportunities to provide value and get paid. Person B chooses to see problems as excuses for why they can't succeed. Person A failed in business 3 times and chose to learn from each failure. Person B failed once and chose to never try again. Here's what's fascinating. Person A and Person B started at the same place. They had the same 24 hours, the same opportunities, often the same background. The only difference was their daily choices. One chose the disciplines of wealth. The other chose the ease of poverty. One chose to do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. The other chose to do what everyone else does and got what everyone else gets. So here's my question to you, and I want you to answer it honestly, not to me, but to yourself. Which person are you choosing to be right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are better, but right now in this moment with your current actions. You see, the beautiful and terrifying truth is that you're already choosing. Your bank account is showing you what you've been choosing. Your body is showing you what you've been choosing. Your relationships are showing you what you've been choosing. If you don't like what you see, you must understand that these are not accidents. They are consequences of choices. But here's the empowering news. You can make a different choice starting right now. Not a wish, not a hope, not a resolution, but a choice backed by immediate action. Choose to be rich, and then act like a rich person would act. Read what they would read. Save what they would save. Invest what they would invest. Work like they would work. Think like they would think. This isn't about pretending or faking it. It's about adopting the behaviors that create the results. The moment of decision is upon you. Will you continue choosing poverty through your actions while wishing for wealth in your dreams? Or will you align your daily choices with your desires? The clock is ticking, and every moment you delay is a moment you've chosen poverty over wealth. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for someone to save you. Choose wealth now and let every action from this moment forward reflect that choice. Let me give you concrete examples that prove this principle beyond any doubt. When I was broke, I chose to spend my evenings watching television. When I decided to be wealthy, I chose to spend those same evenings building a part-time business. Same 24 hours, different choice, different result. I watched a single mother with 3 jobs choose to study for 1 hour every night after her children went to bed. Today, she owns a successful business because she chose growth over rest. I know a man who chose to brown bag his lunch for 5 years and invest the money he saved. That simple choice is now worth over $100,000. These aren't exceptional people. They're ordinary people making exceptional choices. Consider this. When you choose to buy that coffee every morning instead of making it at home, you're not just spending $5. You're choosing poverty over wealth. That $5 a day is $1,125 a year, which invested over 20 years could become $100,000. You're literally choosing to trade your future fortune for present convenience. When you choose to gossip at work instead of developing a new skill, you're choosing to remain replaceable instead of becoming irreplaceable. When you choose to blame the economy instead of improving your economy, you're choosing to be a victim instead of a victor. Every time you say, "I can't afford it," instead of asking, "How can I afford it?" you're choosing a poverty mindset. Every time you say, "That's not my job," instead of, "How can I add more value?" you're choosing limitation over expansion. These choices are happening all day, every day, and they're creating your future. Now let me share with you what happens when you commit to choosing wealth over poverty consistently. First, your confidence transforms because you're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You're in command of your choices. You walk differently, talk differently, think differently because you know something that most people don't know, that you have the power to choose your destiny. Your relationships improve dramatically because you attract who you are, not what you want. When you choose to become wealthy in character, wealthy in discipline, wealthy in value creation, you attract others who have made the same choice. Your opportunities multiply because success breeds success. When you choose to excel at your current job, better jobs find you. When you choose to solve problems excellently, bigger problems with bigger payoffs seek you out. When you choose to become valuable, the marketplace competes for your contribution. Your peace of mind increases because you're no longer worried about money. You're focused on value. You sleep better knowing you're growing your wealth daily through your choices. You're not anxious about the future because you're actively creating it. But here's the greatest benefit. You become an example of what's possible. Your children don't just hear about success, they see it. Your friends don't just talk about dreams, they witness them coming true. You become living proof that choosing wealth over poverty is not just possible, but inevitable when you align your daily actions with your desires. This transformation doesn't take decades. It begins the moment you make the choice and continues as long as you keep choosing. I, Jim Rohn, am telling you that this moment right now is the most important moment of your financial life. Not because of what I'm saying, but because of what you're about to choose. You stand at the crossroads that everyone faces but few recognize. Down one path lies more of the same: struggle, limitation, excuses, and regret. Down the other lies abundance, freedom, contribution, and fulfillment. The path you take is determined by the choices you make in the next 24 hours. Will you choose to act on what you've heard, or will you choose to file it away as interesting information? Will you choose to start that savings account today, or will you choose to wait for a better time that never comes? Will you choose to read that book, make that call, start that project, Or will you choose the comfort of procrastination? Here's what I know after studying successful people for decades. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is not talent, education, or luck. It's the ability to choose wealth in the small moments when poverty seems easier. The time for excuses has passed. The time for blaming has ended. The time for waiting is over. Your future is calling you to choose, and it's calling you now. 10 years from now, you'll be somewhere. The question is, will you be where you chose to be through deliberate action, or will you be where you ended up through default? Choose to be rich, not just in money, but in relationships, health, knowledge, and contribution. Choose it now. Choose it daily. Choose it consistently. And watch as your life transforms from what it is into everything it could be. The choice is yours. It always has been. Choose wisely. Choose now. Choose wealth. And as we wrap up, remember, this is only one step on your journey. Subscribe now and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next powerful message. If this video inspired you, hit the like button and share in the comments the very first action you'll take starting today. And don't stop here. Watch the next video on this channel because each lesson connects and will help you keep building the life you truly deserve.